Why do I get uncomfortable if someone asks me, should I get an African Grey, a Pioneer, a Senegal, or an Amazon? Hey guys, I'm Kaylin, the author of The Parrot Bond, the new book, Get to Know African Grey and Cape Parrots, and my latest book that I am super duper excited about, Feathered Splendor, because it is a full color book with so many pictures. I have 40 different species of parrots in the book. That doesn't mean 40 photographs, it means there's at least 40 different species, and it's over 100 pages, so lots of photographs. And my coloring books are on Amazon now too. So look for me under KB Raphael. Now, why would I get nervous? Because my whole mission is to help you have a blissful bond with your parrot, reducing the need for rescues. I would love for parrots to find their home, really connect with their person so that their person is so happy, the parrot's so happy, and the person would never want to rehome or surrender their parrot. And when someone says to me, you know, an Amazon or an African Grey or a Pioneer or a Senegal, the thing is, some of those have similar temperaments, some don't. And so it makes me uncomfortable because I don't want the person to get a bird and then, you know, kind of hate the bird and want to return them or surrender them, that kind of thing. I had one person write to me once saying that they got an Amazon, the Amazon bit them, so they took it back. And, you know, in a way that's good because parrots bite, and you have to be willing to build up a real trusting relationship and create a bond with your parrot so that, like Lorenza, my yellow-naped Amazon here, you aren't going to get bitten, because then biting is just reserved for when they're really fearful, and when they don't know you, they're fearful. After all, we're a lot bigger, right? So it's really important that you're willing to put the time and effort in. In some ways, it's like any relationship. It takes that willingness to work on the relationship. And then the most important question is, what lifestyle is the one that you're living, that you want a parrot that matches your lifestyle? In other words, for example, a Pioneer parrot is semi-independent. If you want a parrot that's going to sit on your shoulder and let you pet them and be cuddly, come here, come here, come here. Parrot kiss. Yay! Parrot kiss. Parrot kiss. Yay! Oh, you're such a good bird. You're such a good bird. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lorenza lets me do just about anything to her. She's cuddly with me. She lets me pet her. She wants me to pet her. She'll go like, oh, over here, over here. You know, she's a cuddly bird. But Amazons scream. They're loud. I have one worse than my Amazons, and that's my umbrella cockatoo. But the lifestyle of having an Amazon means probably not an apartment. If you're in an apartment, you're going to have to surrender or rehome your parrot, because your neighbors are very likely to complain, because twice a day there's this squawk, squawk. If, on the other hand, you have a Pioneer parrot, your neighbors aren't going to complain, but you're not going to have this cuddly, totally be with me. Does your Pioneer want to be with you? Yes. Do they want pets? Yes. But they're not as cuddly. So it's a different lifestyle. An African Grey parrot, at its best, is so cool. They're so intelligent. They watch you. They're humorous. I love African Greys. That's why I wrote a book about African Grey and Cape Parrots, because they're both from the same tropical continent, just like a Senegal. But African Grey parrots, at their worst, they bite. And they have this lock jaw. And they do this thing that I've heard it called a switch and bait, where they put their head down, like they want you to give them the scritches, and then they flip up and they bite you. Why? I don't know, because they're intelligent and they can trick you. And do I think it's malicious? I don't think so. Do I think that they're probably just not as comfortable with the person? That's my guess. Do I think that if someone gets bitten like that, they're not going to want to let their African Grey out of their cage again? I know it's a possibility. And so I don't want people to get into a bad situation. You get a Senegal parrot, They are awesome. They don't have these beautiful bright colors like so many of the neotropical parrots in the New World or generally Latin America. They don't have those colors. Those tropical African parrots, they're really calm, they're mellow, they're easygoing, they're pretty quiet. They're known for not being rah, but their colors are more muted. And when you get a Senegal parrot, you have to be careful that they don't turn into a one-person parrot. This can happen with Senegals, with Myers. I'm researching Myers for my next book, The 30 Best Apartment Parrots, the Perfect Apartment Parrot. But if they turn into one-person parrot, what that means is that they love you, they adore you, you have a good bonded relationship, but when someone else comes by, they fly to them and they try to bite them. They dive bomb their head, they attack them. It's not nice, it's not pretty, and then you've got this situation where you have a parrot who's small but is attacking the other person in your home, the other person's not feeling comfortable. This is not the lifestyle you want. In other words, just like a dog, a cat, or a person, parrots sort of can have like a good side and a bad side. They can have their pros, they can have their cons, and frankly, they all have a different lifestyle. So the African gray is going to be pretty quiet until they hear hammering next door or some other loud parrot, and then they pick up on that sound, and now your quiet African gray is as big and loud as like a big macaw or something like that, or a jackhammer. So you have to really get to understand the different species you're looking at, and you have to understand sort of like what their challenges could very well be, so that you know whether or not you want that to be a part of your lifestyle, whether or not you want a loud bird, whether or not you want a more semi-independent bird. The loud would be the Amazon, the semi-independent would be the Pioneer, or whether you want a bird who might be a jackhammer or do the switch and bait and bite you. And when an African grays know you, they are cuddly and sweet. Not totally cuddly, they're not really cuddly birds, but in other words, they're so much more of the affectionate version of an African gray. When they don't know you, like if you bring home a rescue, it's possible they'll never quite reach that level. It's possible they'll do that bait and switch. You know, so you have to understand all of the potentials. You have to understand what you're looking at, so you don't wind up with a parrot that's biting you, that hates you, you hate it. That's what makes me nervous. I don't want people to walk into that kind of situation. I want people to really understand the parrot that they're looking at and really understand whether the lifestyle matches their lifestyle, and if it's a relationship, once that match is there, that they're willing to work through. That's what makes all the difference. Now, if you want some awesome parrot merch like my awesome t-shirt here, please be sure to visit shop.parrotbliss.com. I support my flock through and my channel, helping you out hopefully with your birds through my books, through our merch, and more merch. All right, guys, thanks for joining me in this blissful video. If you liked it, please be sure to give Lorenzo and I one of these. And then if you have any questions or comments, please post them below. It does help my juice, and I will catch you in the next feathered, biting free video.